So, hi, I'm John Lutz, and I teach history at the University of Victoria. And my area of specialty is relationships between Aboriginal people and European settlers. And I've recently published a book a year and a half ago called McCook, A New History of Aboriginal White Relations, which, if you like, is a think piece in a way. It summarizes my thinking about how those relations have unfolded over the years and many of the stereotypes and myths that have been embedded into those relationships. And in particular, I take aim at the myth of the lazy Indian and try and put that to bed once and for all. So that's my research area, but one of my keen interests these days is making history accessible to a wide audience through the web. And so I'm involved in all kinds of digital projects to do that. Some of them are teaching projects, like Great Unsolved Mysteries in Canadian History, which has 12 mysteries from Canadian past we invite students to go and solve. More recent projects involve a project called The Governor's Letters, which takes the letters that the Governor of British Columbia and Vancouver Island sent back to their bosses in England, the Colonial Office, and the correspondence coming back and forth. And all that correspondence is increasingly available online, but we've devised in the Governor's Letters a package for kids in K-12, so they can explore those letters and answer certain questions about bias and about interpretation and those kind of key historical questions. We've also taken the local newspaper, which used to be called, believe it or not, until only a few years ago, the British Colonist, and now it's still called the Times Colonist, and digitized that and put the first 50 years online. We've got a website called Victoria's Victoria, where my students take their history projects that they do on the history of Victoria and post them online as sort of micro-histories of different elements of the history of Victoria. So those are some of the kind of digital projects that are going on around here. As well, I teach a field school, ethnohistory field school. I teach a cool course on the history of the automobile in North America, where students interview their families about their history of the automobile, and then they post those online too on a website called, I like this website, Autobiographies, autobio.ca. So ethnohistory field school is at ethnohist.ca, and Governor's Dispatches, you can find those all through Google.